Change does not always come quickly. And for those content with the status quo, that's fine. Subtle shifts over time can bring about change without anybody ever realizing what's happening. But change, real change, the seismic kind, leaves an immediate mark. It's obvious that what's before and what will happen going forward will never be the same. Before the Boston Celtics selected Chuck Cooper on April 25, 1950, no African American had ever been given the opportunity to compete in the National Basketball Association. And just like that, everything changed.
One of the most consequential and culturally significant draft picks in NBA history was made in 1950, when the Boston Celtics selected Chuck Cooper.
And after the draft, one of the owners in the room said, "Don't you guys know Chuck Cooper's an African-American?" And Walter Brown's only response was, "Hey, I don't care if he's polka dotted. If he's going to help us win, we want him on the Celtics."
By making this choice, the Celtics triggered an historic chain of events.
I almost believe that if Walter Brown had not drafted Chuck, Washington probably would not have drafted myself and Harold Hunter.
Cooper, a 6'5" forward, was known for his tenacity and a wide array of skills.
I remember Chuck Cooper as a fine player, a good scorer, but most of all as a very strong rebounder.
Cooper's inclusion signified a dramatic shift. He courageously blazed a new trail and profoundly altered the arc of the National Basketball Association.
When the NBA started, it was segregated. By Chuck Cooper being drafted, it was the ownership of the NBA saying that we can accept integration of the NBA.
He overcame the barriers of that time, and he created a legacy that we benefited from.
Speaking on behalf of the late Chuck Cooper in this recorded message is his son, Chuck Cooper III.
On behalf of my father, the late, great Chuck Cooper, the Cooper family, and all the friends and supporters of his legacy, I want to thank the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame for this tremendous honor. A special thank you to the 17-time world champion Boston Celtics, then owner Walter Brown and Coach Red Auerbach, who made history on April 25, 1950 by selecting Charles Chuck Cooper, the college All-American from Duquesne University, with the 13th overall pick of the NBA draft. The NBA's color barrier was broken and the game of basketball was forever changed. My dad was joined that year by his fellow pioneers and Hall of Famers, Earl Big Cat Lloyd and Nat Sweetwater Clifton. They are forever linked as the NBA's first three. Even though they were held to a higher standard, they never faltered. It truly amazes me how the early African-American pioneers played at such a high professional level while having to sacrifice, endure, and withstand the overt racism and social injustice of that time period. Finally, I want to thank my dad's presenters on stage with me today, all of whom are game changers. A huge thank you to Bill Russell and Elgin Baylor, who provided my dad with one of his proudest moments when they took a stand against racial prejudice. I am proud of my father, the barrier breaker and basketball player. I am proud of my father as a humanitarian, veteran, and leader. Dad, it is a blessing to continue to honor your life and legacy through the work of the Chuck Cooper Foundation. Thank you.
Well, it's quite a group here. Presenting Chuck Cooper for enshrinement are Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ray Allen, Elgin Baylor, Larry Bird, Julius Erving, Tommy Heinsohn, Manny Jackson, Isaiah Thomas, and Dominique Wilkins. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Chuck Cooper is Chuck Cooper III. Hold your applause for a minute because I don't want to miss this opportunity to take this little picture. Just kind of get this out of the way. You can't get this group. You can't get this group like this over here too much, and then we get this one over here before we get going. Eat your heart out, all y'all. There we go. All right. guys going this way? Congratulations once again to the family of Chuck Cooper.